have ourselves a new Spiral Abyss, which means more tips. This one is pretty easy, thankfully, because I forgot how to fight some of the bosses, so it kind of works out. Also, the Blessing is a healing based one, and since I always bring a healer, technically, I do the blessing. So this is both the blessing video and the normal method, or the non-blessing video, whatever. Which means that if they do a plunging attack based blessing system, I will be making another video, but that won't probably come out until the 16th, so that's just something I'll have to do later. Okay, so this is actually really simple. It's a very simple concept of how to do this Spiral Abyss. For your first half, you want AoE. For your second half, you want single target. That's as simple as it gets. It honestly is in building a team. Strong AoE, strong single target, because the first half are all mobs, the second half are all bosses. Now, the difficulty is that the bosses are the three most annoying bosses. Well, yeah, no, two of the most annoying bosses. Technically, the third is not added because that's Thundering Manifestation. But it is two of the more annoying bosses in the game, plus a boss that's kind of irritating, but you can deal with it. So, the difficulty is not in, coming up with a team. The teams are pretty simple. It's just coming up with a team that does enough damage to deal with the boss. As you can see, I'm doing Neuvillette and Nahida on my first team for really good coverage, plus Kazuha for a little bit of gathering. So that's a good, strong AoE, get everything together, cluster them together, blast them all at the same time to Kingdom Come. I will explain why I should have made a different decision with the first team here in a second, but it's big AoE. Second one, it's Raiden Shogun, Furina, Sara, Zhongli. It's big AoE, or big protect the ADC carry, boost the ADC comp. So that's League talk. Anyway, so you're about to see, I think, why I should have made a different decision. Yeah, Neuvillette just got blasted. I do not have C1 Neuvillette, which means I should have brought Beidou. I should have brought Beidou instead of probably Kazuha, because he's not that necessary for this. It still works out, but Neuvillette does not have interruption resistance, so he actually gets blasted out of his charged attack quite often throughout these fights. And if you don't want him blasted out, if you're using Neuvillette, bring Beidou or Qingshou, or if you don't want to bring Zhongli for another fight, bring Zhongli. Noelle probably works too. So just something to be cautious about. Strong AoE, as you can see. It just kind of knocks them out real quick. Alright. I have forgotten how to do these two bosses, the next two bosses that are coming up, starting off with the Ruined Serpent. So I kind of... It doesn't matter as much on the Ruined Serpent as it does on the Sandworm, but you'll see. It's just, thankfully, Furina is ridiculously strong, and so I can just blast through the boss. But yeah, I kind of forgot how to do this boss, so I make some silly mistakes and don't do things as well as I should have done, like this right here. So as you can see, it's not doing particularly well, but in the end, it works out. Normally you're supposed to break that thing and it stops running around and doing stuff and you get more damage on it, but I forgot how to do that completely. So, yeah. Fortunately, this is a relatively easy Spiral Abyss, so it's not that bad. Alright, so here you're going to see what I was talking about more with the Nervalette getting bonked out of his charged attack. That Geo Crocodile is a. You just saw. Pain in the butt. An absolute pain in the butt. So you probably want some sort of interrupt resistance if you bring Nervalette. Other types of AoE can work. I use Nahida Nervalette for AoE, but also a good AoE freeze team would work. That would cut out the necessary need for interrupt resist. So if you have a really strong Ayaka or Wriothesley, that would work. Just freeze everything in an AoE and just knock them out. Beidou, of course, would work too, as part of an AoE team if you brought somebody else with her. What's her name? Navia would be good. Navia can do decent AoE. Ito could do decent AoE if you can gather them up. So just AoE. What's your best AoE team with Great Certificate? See, this is part of the forgot how to do the Sandworm, because I just kind of stood there and took that. And I shouldn't have. I should have known better. I would have known better if I had remembered how to do this fight. Another instance, and it's going to come up right here in a second. This is a time to use, if you're using Raiden Shogun or any other big major DPS, it has a pattern. This is the third attack. It always does that. Run opposite of where it was when it went under the ground. It will pop up. Use your elemental burst if it's a big bursty ability to do a nuke, or if it's or if you're using Hu Tao, use her elemental skill there. It stands still long enough for you to do stuff. Here's another thing that I'd forgotten how to do. Use your elemental bursts beforehand, so that you can take advantage of the fact that it's lying on the ground, and you can full range DPS with your burst right off the bat instead of having to build it up like I did. This fight would have been over had I remembered to do that, but I didn't, because it's been too long. Fortunately, I had enough time from dealing with the other round quick enough, or the other half quick enough, that it didn't matter. But, yeah, see, I just keep making mistakes. Fortunately, again, it's easy, so it's just very particular. And as you see, strong single target. Bring an archer is my suggestion also, because of that, and also because of the next boss, the Rune Drake. Both of them, you probably want an archer. It's very helpful. Also, this right here. Fucking overload, knocking them out of Kazuha's elemental burst. Fucking overload, just making them move back was stupid and annoying. But it still works out because Nervalette is broken. So, just be careful with what you're doing. For some reason, my skills didn't work when I wanted them to work, and I was having issues switching right there. But again, it works out in the end. Alright, Rune Drake is coming up. It's not that bad. If you have Farina, it's even easier, and you will see why here in a second. So normally, you have to shoot the wings down. Well, kind of helps when you have little summons that fly up to meet the boss. Again, I should have used my elemental bursts earlier. I would have been able to gain benefit from... I would have been able to attack the thing on the ground a little bit longer without it standing up. It works out, but that's just a suggestion. Try and time things better than I did. And I should point this out, this is easy. This is relatively easy. If you have strong characters to just barrel through it. If you don't have necessarily the strongest characters in the world, if you time things correctly, it can make up for a lot of the deficit, because Rune Drake, Sandworm, and Rune Serpent all have these periods where they're just either invulnerable or hard to hit, So if you work around those timings better than I did, it makes the fight a hell of a lot easier, and you can just walk right through it without too much problems. So if you're having trouble with DPS, maybe the issue is your timing. This was just me checking to make sure that I had actually gotten all 3 stars on the first one, because I zipped out of it before I had actually looked. Alright, so checking that stuff. I will make another video, or I will hopefully make another video, because plunging attacks are not necessarily my best, but if they have a plunging attack based blessing, I will make another video when that comes out, to demonstrate if there's any tips or tricks that I can impart to make the fight easier for you if you're having issues. Again, AoE for the first one, single target for the second one. Watch your timings. Apart from that, it's pretty easy. So, if you found this video at all helpful, please like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day.